Thank you. It's a great honor for me to present on this meeting the result of the Checkmate of the 57 trial. This randomized phase 3 trial compared Nivolumab versus docetaxel in advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer. Lung cancer is a huge health problem. Actually, it's the leading cause of cancer-related death, and every year, more than 1.8 million of new cases are diagnosed worldwide. Treatment opportunities are pretty limited, particularly in some contexts, such as for non-squamous, non-small cell lung cancer when they have failed platinum-based chemotherapy. In this context, typical response rate to the available agents, standard of care, such as docetaxel, is in the range of 10%, and expected survival between 8 to 10 months. Nivolumab is a fully human IgE4 type monoclonal antibody directed to the PD-1 receptor, the immune checkpoint PD-1 receptor. The drug has shown activity across different subtypes of non-small cell lung cancer in prior studies. Actually, very recently, the drug has been approved by the FDA for the treatment of advanced squamous cell carcinoma on the basis of a randomized trial that would be also presented in this meeting. The design of the study was very straightforward. All patients, altogether, 582 patients were included, all with a stage 3-4 advanced non-squamous histology. Very importantly, that was an all-comer study. We did not select for PD-L1 expression, all comers. All patients had good health, good PS, had failed prior platinum-based chemotherapy, and may have or not received prior maintenance with approved drugs or TKI treatment in case of having an activating aberration of the EGFR or ALK signaling pathway. After stratification, patients were randomized on a 1-to-1 fashion to Nivolumab 3 milligrams per kilo every 2 weeks or docetaxel at the standard dosing. The primary endpoint in this trial was overall survival. We look at some other secondary endpoints, response rate, particularly correlation between efficacy and PD-L1 expression. Here are the main results of the trial. The Checkmate of 57 trial met its primary endpoint, overall survival. Patients treated with Nivolumab improved their overall survival as compared to patients treated with docetaxel. The hazard ratio was 0.73, which means a decrease in the risk of death all along the study period of 27%. In terms of median survival, there was an improvement of nearly 3 months for 4 patients treated with Nivolumab as compared to those treated with docetaxel, the difference being 9.4 versus 12.2 months. Response rate was also improved for patients treated with Nivolumab, 19% versus 12%, and that was also clinically and statistically significant. Again, the duration of responses was much higher, much longer with Nivo treatment as compared to docetaxel, 17.2 versus 5.6 months. Here is a very complicated but important slide. Actually, this slide shows that in this analysis, PD-L1 expression seems to be a predictive factor for the benefit of Nivolumab treatment. If you concentrate on the top 3 figures, those are referred to patients whose tumors are PD-L1 positive, do have expression in the tumor of the PD-L1 ligand. Actually, we have used 3 cut points to define positivity. 1% of the cells or more, 5% of the cells or more, or 10% of the cells or more. Looking at all 3 figures, you see that the survival benefit for Nivolumab treatment were huge as compared to docetaxel. Actually, hazard ratio being between 0.59 and 0.40. Indeed, the median survival on the nivolumab arm was actually unprecedented in this context, ranging from 17.2 months to 19.4 months. On the contrary, on PD-L1 negative tumors, those at the bottom of the slide, there were no survival difference between the treatment arms. Duration of the treatment was similar in the two treatment arms, about 12 weeks. Even at the last follow-up, 15% of the patients were still on nivo, 0% on docetaxel. That's very important as well. Number of patients receiving subsequent therapy, 42% on the nivo arm as compared to 50%. So possibly survival in this study was not very much influenced by further treatment. Incidence of treatment-related adverse event and severity was clearly higher with docetaxel as compared to nivolumab. Number of patients having any adverse event, 69% versus 88%. More importantly, 10% of the patients treated with nivo had grade 3, 4 treatment-related adverse event versus 54% on the docetaxel arm. Serious adverse events were reported in 7% of the patients with nivo as compared to 20% with docetaxel. And also, consistently, number of patients that had to discontinue the drug due to the adverse events were 5% with nivo, but 15% with docetaxel. Just to conclude, nivolumab is the first PD-1 inhibitor to significantly improve OS as compared to docetaxel in patients with prior treatment and non-small cell lung cancer, non-squamous histology. Actually, we observed a 27% decrease in the risk of death all along the period of the study, an improvement of nearly 3 months in median survival. Response rate was also improved in this trial with the nivo treatment. Importantly, PD-L1 emerged as a clear predictor factor for the benefit from nivolumab treatment. Those patients treated with nivolumab, if they had PD-L positive expression, survival was doubling the one of the standard arm docetaxel. Indeed, response rate was also improved. Patients with tumors with negative PD-L1 expression did not benefit on the same rate from nivolumab treatment. Safety profile was also favorable for nivolumab as compared to docetaxel and was consistent with prior studies. And I think that would be the second study reporting a superiority of nivolumab over docetaxel in the context of advanced non-small cell lung cancer. Thank you.